Fog of Love. It's a romantic comedy as a board game. So you're playing the two sides of the romantic comedy. You each have a character that you make at the beginning of the game. They have their own personality traits and features, occupation. So for example, my character here is a nurse with a flowery hat. I'm eloquent, I'm tattooed. However, my traits are that I'm cocky, I'm irresponsible, and I'm pretentious. So, not a super fun character, but fun in its own right. So, the game progresses by you play scenes from your hand. So you take turns playing one of the scenes, and then you resolve it by taking one of the tokens, putting it face down, and then flipping them over at the same time. Then you get whatever the point is next to it. So this one, if I said B, I'm going to get a down blue for answering B. Pretentious is one of my traits, which means I have a trait goal of 3 down blue that I need to get by the end of the game. So I might answer that way. But there's also a role play element to the game, so I don't want to answer in a way that is contrary to my character. The more you lean into the role play of it, the better the game becomes. And there's a lot of cards in the game that rely on I'm answering the way that my character would answer, and the other person is guessing what I would say. So if you lean into the role play element of it, it becomes significantly easier to answer that way. Those cards then give you bigger bonuses if you match and that sort of thing. The end game, or the end goal of the game, is to fulfill one of the destinies. So at the beginning of the game, you start with all the same destinies. Both players have the same destinies in their hands. But throughout the game, you're discarding destinies, you're swapping destinies back up into your hand from the discard. When you enter the finale, you have to choose one of your remaining destinies to be your final destiny. If you meet all the prerequisites for that destiny card, then you win. You can both win. One of you can win, the other one can lose, or both of you could lose, depending on if you're able to fulfill your destiny. So like, one of the destinies would be unconditional love. You win if you have 4 or more points in the positive column of sincerity, and your partner has 40 or more satisfaction in the relationship. Satisfaction rises and falls depending on how you answer scenes earlier in the game. And your partner doesn't play a destiny card that would break up with you. There's also Heartbreaker, which is pretty much the exact opposite of that, where you need to have 4 or more in the negative column of sincerity. Your partner has to have 15 or less points of satisfaction in the relationship, and your partner can't play a card that breaks up with you because you have to be the one that breaks up with them. So it really depends on how you want to play the game. You can play it very cooperatively because you both can win if you play nicely, or you can kind of go for like the screw your neighbor type of approach to the game. A lot of the game moves in chapters, so like the first chapter you're drawing cards from the sweet deck because it's the beginning of the relationship, everything is sunlight and rainbows and like it's the honeymoon phase. The second chapter you have access to the sweet cards, serious cards, or drama cards, and the third chapter you only draw drama cards. So it gets progressively more intense as you move through the game. It's super fun, there's a lot of strategy to it, but it's also a very easy game to pick up and learn. I haven't had anybody who's had a really hard time learning how to play it.